A cross-country storm system will be moving through the country over the next few days, bringing some heavy snow to the Pacific Northwest and into portions of the northern plains, as well as a Great Lakes severe threat, our first big severe threat of the year so far. Let's time out this system and go through all the impacts here. Starting off with our big view here, we have a low pressure system that is moving through the northern Rockies as of right now, dumping snow. A thin strip of snow will be moving through the Dakotas and into northern Minnesota. Some areas here could be picking up to a half foot of snow. Then a strong cold front moves in, and as this low pressure stalls out, a very strong severe threat could be occurring in portions of the Great Lakes region on Tuesday, before this storm starts to slide to the east, and as it does so, some very heavy rain and maybe even some back-end snow possible in portions of the Northeast and New England. So this storm system will be very potent, especially the eastern two-thirds of the country here, seeing many different impacts, and of course the western third of the United States seeing that mountain snow. Let's zoom in to that mountain snow here, specifically in Colorado. We see this storm system start to move in from the northwest, bringing in that very heavy snow, especially in the Rockies and some of the foothills. But we also have some thin stretches of snow starting to move into Nebraska, and we can see that cold front here, those isobars getting very tight. That is a very good indicator of a strong cold front making its way through, and this is the same cold front that will be impacting our severe weather threat in just a second here. We'll talk about that. Just playing through it one more time, this pretty much locked on heavy snow threat in the Rockies of Colorado. That very strong cold front, you can see it right here, and just that runs through, and we get some very cold temperatures compared to what we've been seeing over the last few days. So let's take a look here at my predictions for the snowfall. You can see that thin strip of those 3 to 6 and 6 to 12 inch amounts here in northern Minnesota and North Dakota. You can also see all of that Rocky Mountain snowfall. Over 2 feet of snow possible in portions of the Cascades, even the Wasatch Range getting into some heavy snowfall there, over a foot likely there, as well as in Idaho and Montana. And look here, right where that snow band starts to stall out here in Colorado, could be seeing over a foot of snow there too. Would not rule out maybe even over 2 feet of snow in some spots there as well. Other than that, maybe some thin stretches of some light snow behind this strong cold front, and that could be bringing in some back-end snow in some spots, specifically the Northeast, where we could be seeing that cold get just ahead of the end of that moisture to produce some snowfall, especially in the higher elevations. So taking a look here at the Great Lakes region, here is where our main threat is going to be for that severe storm risk. Here's this low pressure is going to start to stall out. We can see our cold front starting to move in, and as it does so, some storms start to pop up here near Chicago, and a line of thunderstorms starts to develop through Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. Do not rule out some cold core storms into Michigan as well. Those risks have been upgraded over the past 12 hours here in southern Michigan, so don't rule out maybe a possible spin up there too. There is a 5% chance of tornadoes across this area where that cold core action could be going on. So let's take another run through here. That low pressure stalls out during the early morning hours of Tuesday. As this cold front starts to come crashing in during the middle to late afternoon, we're going to see those storms start to pop up in Illinois and Missouri, and throughout the late evening and into the overnight, we'll be seeing Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky start to get into the mix before this storm system starts to roll out into the northeast, and we'll be seeing that storm dropping some heavy rain there. So here is the general thunderstorm risk here. So in this light yellow here, that's where we're going to be seeing those non-severe thunderstorms. Nothing to worry about here. Not going to be seeing any tornadoes in these spots. In this medium orange color here, we're going to be seeing some severe storms possible, but not as much as in this dark orange. This is where those severe storms are likely in these spots. This includes Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Gary, Indiana as well. In that likely area, and in that possible area, we have Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, and even down into Arkansas could be seeing that risk. So our first big severe thunderstorm risk of the season so far, and it could be a pretty abnormal one here, as this is a Great Lakes threat, not a deep south threat, which is something we haven't seen in a few years, especially this early on. Not very typical for a February severe threat in the Great Lakes. So I hope that you all stay safe out there. Make sure to take necessary precautions. And if you enjoyed this video, found it informative, please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting that bell. And I will see you guys again very soon.